Most people think Japanese cat cafes are all about adorable paws, fluffy tails, and Instagram-perfect photos. But in Japan, cat cafes are far more than just a tourist attraction. Today, we're going to unpack their hidden meaning, their unexpected impact on modern Japanese society, and the surprising cultural values behind their incredible success. This is the story of Japanese cat cafes, decoded. Japan's very first cat cafe opened its doors in Osaka back in 2004, at a time when urban life was becoming busier, lonelier, and more stressful. Something interesting happened. People started craving comfort. But strict rental rules, tiny apartments, and incredibly long work hours made pet ownership almost impossible for many. The cat cafe appeared as a perfect solution, an oasis for animal lovers who couldn't have pets at home. But the boom that followed wasn't just about cute cats. It was deeply cultural. To understand why, you have to look at the cities themselves. Tokyo and Osaka are among the most densely populated cities in the world. People live stacked in small apartments, often alone. In fact, nearly 40% of all households in Tokyo are single-person homes. For many, daily life is quiet and can feel emotionally distant. Cat cafes stepped in to fill this void by offering comfort, warmth, and non-judgmental companionship. Stepping inside a cat cafe isn't just about relaxing, it's therapeutic. This emotional role is a huge reason why cat cafes exploded in popularity across Japan. They offered a silent, gentle presence in a world that often felt isolating. If you've ever visited a Japanese cat cafe, you've definitely seen the rules. Wash your hands. Don't wake the sleeping cats. Don't pick them up. Don't use flash photography. Respect their space. These aren't just simple guidelines. They actually reflect core Japanese cultural values. Things like respect for personal boundaries, the importance of living harmoniously with others, and a preference for quiet observation instead of forced interaction. At a cat cafe, the human adapts to the cat, not the other way around. It's a peaceful coexistence that is shaped by a distinctly Japanese sensibility. And it's not just one type of cafe. They come in many different forms. Of course, there are the classic cozy cafes with comfy sofas and bookshelves, perfect for curling up with a book and a furry friend. But there are also breed-specific cafes, where you can hang out with only Scottish folds, ragdolls, or Bengals. There are rescue cat cafes that do incredible work helping abandoned cats find new, loving homes. And now, there are even hybrid cafes that offer things like manga libraries, capsule sleeping spaces, or even co-working areas. In Japan, a cat cafe isn't just a shop, it's a lifestyle space designed for a complete emotional recharge. We spoke with some regular visitors, and their stories reveal a lot about why these places truly matter. An office worker in her late 20s told us, "I work long hours, can't own a pet, but coming here twice a week gives me a sense of peace. The cats don't judge you, they just exist, and it's incredibly comforting." A university student who had just moved to Tokyo shared, "When I first moved here, I felt so lonely. The cafe became my safe space. The cats really helped me adjust to city life." And a retired woman in her late 60s said, "My children live far away. I come here for the quiet company and the warmth." Their voices show that. Cat cafes serve a deep and genuine emotional need in Japanese society. In many ways, cat cafes mirror key aspects of modern Japan. They reflect the high-stress environment that makes people need escape spaces. They highlight the challenge of small living spaces where keeping pets is difficult. They speak to a declining birth rate and rising loneliness, where these cafes can bring a sense of connection. And, of course, they tap into the love for kawaii, or cute culture, where cats are symbolic icons of comfort. In a way, cat cafes are microcosms of modern Japanese life. Quiet, cute, structured, respectful, and emotionally healing. However, not everything is perfect. Some cafes have faced criticism over issues like overcrowding, overworking the cats, poor hygiene, or a lack of proper rest areas for the animals. Thankfully, Japan's animal welfare groups have pushed for stricter regulations, and many cafes now follow very high standards. This is especially true for the rescue-focused cafes, which are dedicated to helping stray cats find permanent, loving homes while providing them with excellent care. So yes, cat cafes are undeniably cute, but behind all that fluff lies a truly fascinating cultural phenomenon. They reflect Japan's emotional needs. its unique urban challenges, and its deep respect for gentle, silent companionship. In a society that moves incredibly quickly, cat cafes offer something rare: a pause, a breath, a moment of quiet connection between human and feline. They're more than just a place to see cats. They're a cultural treasure. If you've ever visited a Japanese cat cafe or want to share your own thoughts, please leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. For many foreign tourists, Japan is full of surprises. From neon-lit cityscapes to tranquil ancient temples, the country offers a journey of endless discovery. But nothing quite prepares them for their first visit to a Japanese cat cafe. Imagine a cozy world where soft paws walk quietly between tables, where the gentle sound of purring replaces the usual cafe chatter. This is a place where strangers relax, unwind, and find themselves falling in love with cats they've just met. Today, we dive into the real testimonies from foreign visitors experiencing Japanese cat cafes for the very first time. We'll explore their initial reactions, their unexpected emotions, and the cultural surprises they never saw coming. Get ready to see Japan through a completely different and much fluffier lens. First up is Emma from the UK. She'd seen countless videos of cat cafes online, but the reality she found in Tokyo was something else entirely. She said, "I expected chaos, kids running around, cats jumping everywhere. But it was so peaceful. It was almost like a tiny library, but with purring. One cat just walked up, curled up, and sat right next to me like we were old friends." Emma told us that the moment she touched the soft fur of a cat named Mochi, all the jet lag and travel stress just melted away. She had been exploring Tokyo at a frantic pace, but in that small cafe, she found something she hadn't expected during her trip: a moment of pure, uninterrupted calm. It wasn't just about seeing cute cats. It was about feeling a connection that slowed down time itself. Next, we have Daniel from California, who is completely fascinated by how structured the entire visit was. He told us with a laugh, "You get a timer when you walk in, you get a list of instructions, and honestly, the cats look like they're the bosses of the whole operation. One just stared at me for a solid minute, and I swear he was judging my life choices." But the biggest shock for him wasn't the rules or the judgmental stares from the feline staff. It was the emotional effect it had on him, he said. "I didn't realize how much I needed that tiny break from sightseeing. That 1 hour with the cats, it totally reset my brain. I walked out feeling lighter and happier." For Daniel, the cat cafe wasn't just an attraction. It was a form of therapy he didn't even know he needed. So why are so many foreigners this surprised? It's because many visitors come from countries where cafes are loud, bustling places. They're for working, for catching up with friends, for grabbing a quick coffee. Pets, if they're around at all, can be unpredictable. But in Japan, cat cafes are designed as healing spaces. The atmosphere is intentionally quiet, warm, and slow-paced. It's an environment built for relaxation, not productivity. Time and again, foreign tourists describe these cafes as the calmest, most peaceful moment of their entire trip to Japan. It's a cultural shift from a place of consumption to a place of quiet contemplation and connection. Now let's hear from Lucas and Maria, a couple from Brazil who were on their honeymoon. They stumbled upon a rescue cat cafe in Osaka, and it turned their day completely upside down. Maria told us, her voice full of emotion. "I honestly didn't expect to fall in love with every single cat in that room, but I did," Lucas added. "The staff told us all about the cat stories. Some had been abandoned, some were recovering from injuries. It wasn't just a cafe. It felt like we were visiting a family." That day, they ended up spending more time cuddling with the cats than visiting the famous shrines they had planned to see. And they said they don't regret a single second of it. Their experience shows that these cafes can be more than just a novelty. They can be profoundly moving. One of the biggest cultural shock moments for many tourists is realizing how the cats set the rules. In a Japanese cat cafe, the cats are in charge. They sleep wherever they want, whether it's in a designated bed or right in the middle of the floor. They ignore anyone they want, with a level of indifference that's almost regal. Most importantly, they choose who to approach quietly, calmly, and completely on their own terms. You can't force an interaction. You have to wait. Foreign visitors often say this is the most Japanese thing they experienced. It's a space where harmony comes from respecting others and their boundaries. even if those others are fluffy creatures taking a nap in a warm sunbeam. Our next testimony comes from Olivia, a visitor from Paris. She was deeply impressed by how incredibly well cared for the cats were. There were toys everywhere, intricate climbing walls, and cozy warm beds in every corner, she said. It felt less like a cafe and more like a five-star cat hotel. The staff knew every single cat's personality, their mood for the day, and even their favorite toys. But she also noticed something uniquely Japanese about the visitors' behavior. No one disturbed the sleeping cats. It was an unspoken rule. Everyone waited patiently for a cat to wake up or approach them. It was beautiful, almost poetic, to see that level of shared respect in the room. So, beyond the cute faces and soft paws, what do tourists actually learn from this experience? They discover something much deeper. They see firsthand the Japanese respect for animals and nature. They learn the importance of embracing small moments of peace in a busy world. They realize that companionship doesn't have to be loud or demanding. It can be quiet and gentle. For many, it's a new kind of self-care. By the end of their visit, many tourists say the same thing. I feel like I understand Japan a little better now. The cat cafe becomes a small, furry window into the heart of Japanese culture. For foreign tourists, discovering a Japanese cat cafe is so much more than just a fun stop on their itinerary. It's a gentle emotional experience, a fascinating cultural window, and a moment of healing they never expected to find. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most memorable travel moments aren't the biggest sights, but the quietest connections. If you've ever visited a cat cafe in Japan, or if you're dreaming of going to one, share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.